Are you moving to Northern Virginia, but you're not quite sure where to start your research? Well, guess what? You just came across the absolute best video possible, because this will be the ultimate guide to living in Northern Virginia. In this video, I'm gonna share with you map views. We're gonna dive into the style of homes. We're gonna look at the region's world-class education system. We're gonna tour the 4 major counties, plus fantastic drone footage of Northern Virginia all throughout this video, and so much more. So sit back, relax, because we're getting started right now. Boom! Hey everybody, it's David, your favorite realtor, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to the ultimate guide to living in Northern Virginia. So Northern Virginia is going to be the suburbs of Washington, D.C., and it's going to be known as one of the most affluent areas in the whole country. In fact, Northern Virginia has 2 of the top 5 richest counties in the country based on median household income, with Loudoun County coming in at number 1 and Fairfax County coming in at number 5. So Northern Virginia has a couple nicknames which you're going to hear a lot when you live here. One is going to be Nova, which is short for Northern Virginia, and then you have the DMV, which stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Also, Northern Virginia, it is a massive area. In fact, it is actually bigger than the whole state of Rhode Island. I remember when I relocated to Northern Virginia back in the year 2000 from Jacksonville, Florida. This is one of my biggest challenges of relocating here, was learning this region. Since it's so massive, it takes a long time to learn it. Especially when I moved here in the year 2000, there was no Google Maps in your cell phone or YouTube videos just like this one, because YouTube didn't even exist back then. So it literally took me 10 plus years to really master this area. But the good news is you won't have to go through those troubles, because obviously you have Google Maps on your phone, and then you have YouTube videos just like this to tell you everything about living in Northern Virginia. Now, one of the easiest ways to break down Northern Virginia is to break it down by the 4 major counties, with Arlington County, Prince William County, Loudoun County, and Fairfax County. So let's do a quick overview of the 4 major counties. Let's start off with Arlington County. So Arlington County is going to be located right across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C., which makes it an integral part of the D.C. metropolitan area. So Arlington is going to be known for its urban village model of development, with high-rise condos, townhomes, single-family homes with much smaller lots, corporate offices, a lot of walkable mixed-use districts, nightlife, dining, and shopping. And since Arlington has a lot of nightlife plus great jobs, you see a lot of young professionals living in Arlington. Now, I never personally lived in Arlington, but in my 20s, a lot of my friends lived and worked in Arlington, and I used to be in Arlington quite a bit, especially on the weekends. Also, niche.com ranks Arlington as the 2nd best city to live, not just in Northern Virginia, not just in Virginia, but the country as a whole. Due to its proximity to DC, Arlington homes are by far the most expensive out of the 4 major counties, with the average sales price coming out to $850,000. Next is Fairfax County. So Fairfax County is going to be about 7 to 30 miles away from Washington, D.C., and is actually the most populous county in the whole state of Virginia. So Fairfax County is going to be known for its cultural diversity, excellent public schools, high standard of living, and a mixture of urban and suburban living. Now, I personally lived in Fairfax County for about 10 years, and one of the best parts about living in the county was it's kind of the central county, so it was very easy to get to the rest of Northern Virginia, and not to mention a lot of the jobs were right in Fairfax County. So niche.com ranks Fairfax County as the 3rd best county to live in the whole state of Virginia. So Fairfax County homes are going to be the 2nd most expensive out of the 4 major counties, with the average sales price coming out to $789,000. Next, we have Loudoun County. So Loudoun County is going to be located about 24 to 60 miles away from Washington, D.C. So Loudoun County is going to be known for its picturesque landscapes, wineries, highly rated schools, much newer homes and communities. Plus, half of Loudoun County is suburban living and the other half is rural living. Now, I personally live in Loudoun County, and hands down, the best part about living in the county is how new everything is. You have much newer homes, newer roads, newer infrastructure, newer schools, newer town centers, especially compared to the rest of the region. If you want to learn more about living in the county, check out this video right here. I go over the pros and the cons. I'll also leave a link to that video in the description, so definitely go check it out after you finish watching this video. So niche.com ranks Loudoun County as the #1 best county to live in the whole state of Virginia. So Loudoun County homes, they're gonna be the third most expensive out of the 4 major counties, only slightly behind Fairfax County, with the average sales price coming out to $778,000. Next, we have Prince William County. So Prince William County is gonna be located 25 to 40 miles away from Washington, D.C. So Prince William County is gonna be known for its rich history, one of the fastest growing job markets in the country, a range of outdoor regional parks, boating, and marinas. Plus, Prince William County offers a blend of suburban and rural living. Prince William County also has what I believe is one of the most beautiful communities in all of Northern Virginia, with Potomac Shores. So Potomac Shores is gonna be a golf course community which runs right along the Potomac River. So you're gonna have absolutely stunning views of the Potomac River. And Potomac Shores is actually the largest planned community currently being built in the whole state of Virginia. So Niche.com ranks Prince William County as the 6th best county for families in the whole state of Virginia. And one of the best parts about living in Prince William County, it is by far the most affordable county here in Northern Virginia, with the average sales price coming out to $569,000. Now, as much as I love making YouTube videos about living in Northern Virginia, what I love even more is helping folks just like you relocate to Northern Virginia. So if you're even thinking about moving to the area, reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Just know I got your back when you're moving to Northern Virginia. Next, we're gonna talk about traffic. Who likes sitting in traffic? I know I absolutely hate sitting in traffic, but unfortunately, you're gonna deal with a lot of traffic living in Northern Virginia. In fact, Metro Mile ranks the DC area as the 8th worst traffic in the whole United States. Now, what adds a lot of traffic to the region? One is our population is increasing very rapidly. Accidents happen all the time on the highways. Plus, never-ending construction. And it seems like every major road, they're doing some kind of construction, so they have to close 1, 2, even 3 lanes. So it is very frustrating that the majority of traffic is caused by these lane closures. It's one of my least favorite parts about living in the area. Now, a good rule of thumb is the closer you get to Washington, D.C., the worse the traffic gets. And I'll also give you a pro tip. If at all costs, if you can avoid these major highways, your life would be a lot easier with 66, 495, and 395. Now let me share with you a real world example. So my wife and I live in Ashburn, Virginia, but she does work in Washington, D.C. So she says on a good day, she can get from Ashburn to D.C. in about 1 hour and 15 minutes. But if there's an accident or lane closures, that 1 hour and 15 minutes can easily be 2 hours. Now I remember about a year ago, somebody commented in my video saying I was exaggerating about the traffic. Well, I told that person, go sit on 66 at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you let me know how much I'm exaggerating about the traffic. So the traffic here in Northern Virginia, it is not fun. So best case scenario when you move here, either A, you get to work remotely from home, or you live as close to your office as possible. Next, we're gonna talk about housing, and there's a style of home for everybody out there. Whether you're a first-time home buyer looking for a smaller townhouse, or you're a seasoned buyer looking for your forever home with a 6,000 square foot single family. Now let's start off with single family homes. And the most common look you will see here in Northern Virginia is gonna be the brick front colonial style single family home. And one thing you'll notice with the single family homes here in Northern Virginia, which is way different than other parts of the country, is the majority of them have basements, and not just like unfinished basements. I'm talking about finished basements with bedrooms down there, wet bars, movie theater rooms. So you just get a lot more living space with single family homes here in the area. And then we have condos. So there's a lot of luxury high-rise condos, especially in Arlington and Reston. And then over the past 5 years or so, one of the most popular style of new construction condos has been the 2/2 townhouse style condo. And these are great, especially if you get the top 2 level. They can be 2,500 square feet, all the bells and whistles, plus a rooftop terrace. And then we have townhomes, and a style of townhouse that's really exploded in popularity these past 10 years or so is the luxury townhouse. And these luxury townhomes feature 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, sometimes over 3,000 square feet, open floor plans, some will have elevators, plus my personal favorite, the rooftop terrace. So one of the biggest differences with our homes here in Northern Virginia compared to other parts of the country is we have a high percentage of condos and townhomes versus single families. In fact, 50% of all the homes you see here in Northern Virginia are either condos or townhomes. So what this does, it puts a huge premium on the price of a single family home. And everybody much rather have a single family home versus condos or townhomes. But if you're trying to get the best value possible, I would definitely be open to townhomes. Now, a good thing to keep in mind is the closer you get into Washington, D.C., the older the homes tend to be. Now, there's exceptions to the rule, obviously, but on average, homes in Arlington County are gonna be a lot older compared to homes in Loudoun County. Now let's dive into the cost of housing. And this is hands down the biggest con of living in Northern Virginia is the high cost of housing. And it doesn't matter if you're renting or buying, it's still gonna be a lot more expensive compared to other parts of the country. Now the average sales price of a home here in Northern Virginia comes out to $743,000. And just so you know, that $743,000 is not gonna get you a single family home in the majority of the area, but that'll get you a very nice townhouse in like Ashburn, Reston, Fairfax, places like that. Now let's look at single family homes, and you're not gonna believe this number, by the way, but the average sales price of a single family home here in Northern Virginia comes out to $976,000. I cannot believe it costs almost $1 million to buy a single family home. That's one thing I wish we really had here was more affordable single family homes. Now a good rule of thumb is, and just like any other metropolitan areas, the closer you get to Washington, D.C., the more expensive housing gets. Are you looking to take your career and income to the next level? Well, Northern Virginia has some of the best employment and career opportunities in the whole country. And this is hands down the #1 reason why people relocate to Northern Virginia is because of a new career opportunity. In fact, nobody's ever called me and said, "Hey David, I'm moving to Northern Virginia because A, I want to be stuck in traffic and I want to pay a very high car tax." No, they're coming here for a new job opportunity, and chances are you're relocating to Northern Virginia for the exact same reason. So here in Northern Virginia, we have powerhouse companies like Meta, Google, USA Today, Hilton Worldwide, and Amazon. And I swear, every other person I meet here in Northern Virginia happens to work for Amazon. It's crazy. Also, Fairfax County alone is home to 10 Fortune 500 company headquarters. So no matter what industry you're in, we have opportunities here. Federal government, information technology, government and defense contractors, finance, media, medical, and more. Now, there's no doubt in my mind you will make a lot more money living and working here in Northern Virginia compared to where you're coming from. And that's one of the best parts about living in Northern Virginia is your career and income potential is unlimited. Now let's talk about fun and entertainment. So one of the best parts about living in Northern Virginia is all the fun and entertainment options you have access to. In fact, I could do a whole video on this topic. First, you can spend the afternoon in Washington, D.C. checking out the monuments, and then head over to the Georgetown waterfront, grab a great dinner with a beautiful view of the Potomac River. And then you can do one of my personal favorites, go to Old Town Alexandria waterfront. It's great just walking around, feeling the history of the city, grab a great lunch and grab some ice cream with the kiddos. Then you have great happy hour spots with Reston Town Center, One Loudoun, and the Mosaic District. Or you can head back out to D.C. and check out some great concerts and sporting events at the Capital One Arena. And then you have lots of parks and recreations all throughout Northern Virginia that you have access to. And one of my favorite is hiking at Great Falls Park. You get to see the waterfalls of the Potomac River. It is absolutely stunning. And then you can go boating on the Potomac River. One of my best friends has a boat, so during the summertime, at least twice a month, we'll go on his boat, and it's so relaxing. You feel the sunshine on your face. I'm having a couple drinks because I'm not driving a boat, but you literally feel like you're on vacation. Then you can head out to the wineries in Loudoun County. Nothing better than going there on a Saturday afternoon in the springtime with your friends and family, just enjoying some great wine and conversations. Then, are you a foodie? Well, guess what? There's some great dining options all throughout Northern Virginia. Everything from mom and pop restaurants to Michelin star restaurants. And this just scratches the surface of all the entertainment options you have available right here in Northern Virginia, which makes it one of the best parts about living in this area. Now let's talk about the world-class education system. And according to niche.com, Northern Virginia has 4 of the top 6 school districts in the whole state of Virginia, with Falls Church City coming in at #1, Arlington County coming in at #2, Loudoun County coming in at #4, and Fairfax County coming in at #6. Now, some of the school rankings, especially from greatschools.org, you have to take with a grain of salt. I've had so many clients relocate here from other parts of the country, and they'll say, "Hey, David, a school that's like a 6 or 7 in Northern Virginia would be a 9 where I'm coming from." So don't just listen to me or go based on rankings you see online. Definitely do your own research because you want to find a school that's perfect for your kids. Now, if public schools are not for you, there's an abundance of private schools all throughout Northern Virginia. Now, when the kiddos finally graduate high school and you want them to stay local and go to an in-state university where you have some great options. First, you have George Mason, which is right here in Fairfax. And then George Washington has 3 campuses here in Alexandria, Arlington, and Ashburn. And then just 2 hours away, you have one of the most prestigious universities in the whole country with UVA. In fact, USnews.com ranks UVA as the 24th best university in the whole country. So my daughter is only 10 months old, so she has a long way to go before she actually starts school. But when she's ready, I feel 100% comfortable putting her into the public school system here in Northern Virginia. So do you hate sitting in traffic and you want another option to get to work? Well, guess what? In Northern Virginia, you have 2 train options with the Metro and the VRE. First, you have the Washington Metro, which has stops in Maryland, DC, and all throughout Northern Virginia. And in fact, they just finally opened the Silver Line, which gives you stops in Reston Town Center, Dulles International Airport, and for the first time ever, a stop in Loudoun County in Ashburn. Another train service we have available here in Northern Virginia is going to be the VRE, which stands for the Virginia Railroad Express. And the VRE is going to be a commuter rail service from the Northern Virginia suburbs into Alexandria, Crystal City, and downtown Washington, D.C. So the VRE is a great option if you live in the Manassas and Clifton area. So if you hate traffic, you do not want to deal with it at all, it's great having 2 train options available to you right here in Northern Virginia. And then you have the dreaded personal property tax, aka the car tax. So a personal property tax is a tax on automobiles, motorcycles, trucks, boats, campers, mobile homes, trailers, and aircrafts. Well, since most people don't have jets in their backyard, but everybody has a car, that's why it's known as a car tax here in Virginia. The way it works is you pay $4.15 per $100 of assessed value on your car. Once or twice a year, you get a letter just like this in the mail from the county with your personal property tax bill. And I just had mine a couple months ago and it came out to $1,600. It's literally one of my least favorite parts about living in this area is paying the personal property tax. So many things I'd rather do than pay that tax. I can invest that money, I can go on vacation, I can just splurge on whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is gonna be better than paying a personal property tax. So our governor is actually against the car tax, and he says the car tax belongs in the trash, and he's actually proposed removing the car tax, but he said it would not be an easy process. So do I think the personal property tax is going away anytime soon? I highly doubt it, but it would be so awesome if they got rid of that tax. Now let's talk about the weather. So here in Northern Virginia, we do have all 4 seasons. We have a very short but beautiful spring, a very short and just as equally beautiful fall, but super long, hot, humid summers, and then very long, cold and bitter winters. Now the weather here in Northern Virginia, it is literally all over the place. I've seen it rain 15 out of 16 days, and then I've seen it go 21 straight days without rain, and the weather can fluctuate just like that. I remember January 2 years ago, it's like the first week of January, it was 65 degrees. I'm walking around with shorts, feeling the sun. I'm like, this is awesome. It's like spring and winter time. But literally the next day, we got 5 inches of snow. Check out this funny meme I found online. It shows that in Northern Virginia, we have 12 seasons of weather, not 4 seasons of weather. So right now, we're actually in winter. So yes, the weather's kind of all over the place, very unpredictable. Hot one day, cold the next day, raining 10 days in a row, not raining for a month straight. But the good news is we do get all 4 seasons. So if you like a nice hot summer and you also like to see snow at the same time, but you don't want a blizzard every other week, then you're actually gonna love the weather right here in Northern Virginia. Now, what do I think is the biggest con to living in Northern Virginia? Without question, is the cost of housing. Regardless if you're renting or buying, it just costs so much for housing. I really do wish there was more affordable housing here in Northern Virginia, especially with single family homes. So yes, this is a fantastic place to live overall, but it's very expensive. Now, what do I think is the biggest pro of living in Northern Virginia? That's easy. It's gonna be the high quality of life. First, it's an A+ area to raise a family. Secondly, education is a huge priority in this area. And then your career and income potential, it is unlimited. So all those factors equate to a high quality of life here in Northern Virginia. So if you're even thinking about moving to the area, I highly recommend it. And if you want to continue your research on what it's like to live right here in Northern Virginia, check out this video right here. I go over the pros and cons of living in Loudoun County. You're absolutely gonna love it. And I'll see you on the next video.